Welcome. We have looked at one of the core components of due diligence, which is the financial due diligence. We will now be assessing another core component, which is the legal due diligence. Whilst the financial are very important because we need to know whether a company is going to be profitable, if it's going to be a good deal, if it's going very likely to generate value in the future, and now we've also seen what value means. Of course, we need also to look at the legal side of the deal. And that's because the legal information will form the basis of the agreement that may be signed if the purchaser is satisfied that the target represents basically a good value and will allow the company basically to achieve specific synergies, and also it's in line with its strategy. With regards to the vendor, the information is usually released on the basis of a letter of disclosures, and also the acquirer basically provides them with a series of questionnaires, and the vendor actually replies to these questionnaires providing information. On the side of the acquirer, actually the legal due diligence is a little bit more taxing because it will be for them to decide what kind of information has to be asked. Also, it's very important not only to ask for information to the target, but also to look at legal information outside. So it's very important to have a legal team in place that actually knows exactly what kind of information has to be gathered. Nowadays, a lot of mergers and acquisitions take place in the brick area, and unfortunately, let's say that the level of reliability of the information that is kept by companies in certain geography is not probably the best. So sometimes even though the purchaser will have to deal with a little bit of ambiguity, it's still very important to determine what kind of information they can gather and also the reliability of this information. Just because a company is based in a certain geography that maybe is not well renewed for reliability of the legal information, it doesn't mean that the acquirer doesn't have to make an effort to get those information. So always be very careful when you carry out a legal due diligence, and always get a legal team in place that has got the required expertise to gather this information, especially if your target is based in a geography with which you are not particularly acquainted. One of the things that always makes me laugh is that legal due diligence are usually seen as just a bunch of documents with boring lawyers that are going to look at them. Well, actually that's not the case. It's actually a big mistake to consider the legal due diligence like a tick the box exercise to go through a checklist. When you are dealing with the legal due diligence, not only get a legal team in place, but also make sure that the legal team is basically familiar with the products and with the legislation around basically specific products. Especially nowadays, a lot of due diligence is revolved around companies that do a lot of research and development, IT, etc. And the law, for example, the patent law, is changing very, very quickly. And depending on where the company is based, basically the law in a specific jurisdiction, it can be significantly different compared to the law in another jurisdiction. So it's a big mistake to think that legal due diligence is just for a tick the box exercise. Always make sure that you're looking for the correct information, that you got the right team in place, and most of all that the team is experienced and knowledgeable in the area around the products that constitute the core business of the target that you are willing to acquire or to merge with. And also take into consideration the local culture and the fact that the law in a specific jurisdiction can be significantly different compared to the law of your own jurisdiction. Thank you so much for watching.